goodness, and we are back. We're back, and we're finally not in Jrusar. 46 sessions later, and we're actually not in the city of Jrusar.
I mean, it's like the last campaign. We were 40-something sessions before we got to the island, right? So,
well,
not even the islands we're supposed to go to. The first
island. Another 20 sessions practically to meet the Voik and get out to the Shattered Isles. So that was a journey. These journeys keep on journeying because that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome back, everyone. And where we last left off, it would seem that with the escape of Karina from the prisons of the Bright Queen, she made a discovery. It would appear that the organization of changelings have executed their plan. With the assassination of the Bright Queen, and thereby framing the group of the Prancing Centaur, who now believes that Thorn and Karina are dead, Fabian has been taken into custody by the Hand of Ord, as it's believed that their group or organization has been implicated in the possibility of the assassination of the Bright Queen. The team then, taking on the information from Fabian, decided to take on temporary disguises and figure out where to go next. It was a toss-up between Ankarel and King's Fall. Rather than going directly to Ankarel in an effort to free Jamansa Ord from the prisons of Ankarel, where they believe now that a changeling organization is using a combination of true polymorph and their own changeling abilities to erode at the entirety of the different power bases at play within Marquet, whether it be the capital city of Ankarel, the capital city of Jrusar and the Oderlin Wilds, King's Fall, as well as other places strewn across Marquet. It would also seem that there's a possible link to a series of islands deep off the coastal regions of the Panagram Sands that might also be implicated in some of the activities that are going on. But now, safely teleporting to the outskirts of King's Fall, finding a haven within a cave-like structure on the side of the cliffs on the outskirts of King's Fall. The team have used Scanlan's magic mansion that was a gift to Eritrea during his time of travels and discoveries about his past. And you guys got to make your own little space inside this magic mansion. But that is exactly where we last left off. You guys had settled in to the beginnings of a long rest. Is there anything anyone wants to do before we take that long rest within the confines of the magic mansion?
Before the enchantment on Regina dissipates,
Oh, yeah, that's right. How long do we have on that? 24 hours?
It was at the beginning. It was 24 hours. I don't know how much time we have left.
So that would have been back when you were in the bowels of the Bright Queen's prison tower. I would say even in the morning, you'll have about 8 hours left on the effect.
Oh, nice. Well, I just want to make sure that she is, in fact, even when it dissipates, she would be confined. Is there anything like a zone of anti-magic in the in this space?
Unfortunately, the magic mansion itself is pure magical. It is not capable of canceling itself out.
Professor's got a cage in his room, right?
Concerning.
It's the bird cage, but
it's bird cage.
Somehow worse.
He described it that way.
Do I know any binding magics that would just or can I go over with Eritrea, who I think has primary control over the mansion, just the little prison that I have for her, to make sure it's as secure as possible and that she can't contact anybody outside of the castle?
Well, Magic Mansion, if you're a creature within Magic Mansion, you are immediately expelled out at the end of its duration. So she doesn't stay inside. She'll leave when you guys leave.
I mean, we could put her in the portable hold, but she won't survive it after 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, we'll think of something, I guess.
But I would say for the purposes of a long rest, I mean, Eritrea, you would have certain abilities to control or limit her access to the mansion. You can even create a room of confinement, which would cause her to be confined within a room and unable to leave the room.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that with my old pal Karina.
Okay. Yeah, you're just saying that because Melody's kind of pissy at you right now.
He's not even here to see you say that. And I would like to ask her just a few questions before going to sleep. I'm just going to ask her if she's met the Bright Queen in person, and if she did she feel that she was in Archfey?
She'd be pretty straightforward about that. She only met the Bright Queen when she was taken into custody by you guys, and the Green Blades were sent to retrieve her. That was the first time she would claim to have ever met the Bright Queen. She wouldn't know where to begin to believe or not believe that whether or not she's an Archfey. I mean, Archfays can be old Sylvan or Elven folk of the Feywild. She did originate in the Feywild, crossed over some time ago, and then settled in the far eastern realms of Wildmount. But as far as she knows, she doesn't believe her to be an Archfey.
Okay. And she has the ability to feel out Archfey that are hidden, correct?
Who does?
Regina, I thought. Maybe I misunderstood what she was saying. Because she was able to locate Archon and 3 other Archfey that the collective was aware of.
I thought that was somebody else that had that ability, but Regina just knew of that person.
Yeah, Regina knew of the person, but doesn't possess that actual ability to be able to do that.
Is she at all, in asking her, do I get any information about who that person is?
I mean, in reality, as far as you know, it's Artagnan that knows where all the Archfey are.
So, has she been collaborating with him?
She has no idea who Artagnan is.
How was she able to find Archon and find out about the other Archfays?
I think when you did the initial questioning of her, she said it was more about Spike and the other changeling individuals in the different powers that be. They know that Archfey exist out there, but they only know of Archon, and they only know of the one in Karina as well, Karina Prime. She never really said who told her. She just stated that the organization knows that those two exist.
Can I try and harp on figuring out who told her?
You get the feeling she truly doesn't know. And this kind of goes back to the way that this organization kind of, to insulate itself from each other's successes and failures, is that by not knowing who's involved, and they're all kind of regionally responsible for their particular area of executing the plan, it prevents them from people finding out where the others are and who's in charge. Regina knows that there are changelings in King's Fall, but she doesn't know who they are. She knows that there's changelings in Jrusar, but you killed the one that she was contacted with. So the one that she was kind of in cahoots with has been killed by you guys at the Chandei Quorum Tower when you raided the tower, and
Levion.
Levion was responsible for the overthrow of Jrusar. As far as you now know, you believe that Jamansa Ord's physical person, who is currently on their way to Ankarel, is probably a true polymorphed changeling as well. that may be the organization of changelings from Ank'Harel, and maybe that's why she doesn't know who that is. It would seem that these changeling groups are only responsible for knowing who each other are within the regions of their control or within the areas that they're expected to help launch this plan.
Did she run into Archon on accident? Because they did say that he showed her a secret place and she showed him a secret place. That feels less accidental.
I would say that you get the feeling that she was changed into something that forced a reveal of Archon, is the vibe that you're getting. She purposely looked like someone else, and then she learned of the information about Archon through different means.
Yeah, Archon told us that he saved her from a giant lizard, which I assume is a dinosaur, and that then they spoke and he showed her a secret place and she showed him a secret place. Would that have been a part of it?
Well, I mean, she hasn't really admitted to meeting Archon at this point. She just acknowledges his existence. You get the feeling that maybe when Archon and her interacted, maybe he did something to alter her memory to limit his exposure. So while Archon was free to give up the information about Regina Greencloak, you're not sure that Regina truly remembers meeting Archon. She's very glib, dismissive, almost as if she has no memory or very limited memory of her interaction with Archon.
Weird. And then final question, real quick. Is she familiar with the Firekeepers and their kind of presence, goals, how to reach them, how to, take off?
She would describe that she understands who the Firekeepers were and what they were intended to do a long time ago, but she's not aware of them being active now. If they are active, you get the feeling that her organization is not necessarily working in any way tandem with their organization. But she kind of treats you a little bit suspiciously about that question, as they're said to be an extinct organization, a group that hasn't functioned for a very, very long time.
Makes sense. And now that she's not under the Filsners, the love potions thing, she has to tell me the truth, but she can try and trick me by telling me half truths.
Give me an insight check during this questioning of Regina, and we'll say Eritrea is kind of like nearby, so he's building the confinement room that she's going to be trapped in, so you get the bonus.
Does Eritrea want to maybe roll an insight check?
I mean, he's nearby if you'd like to. Yeah. Well, if she's asking you, then she rolled really crappy.
She's desperate.
We'll take it. I got a 27.
Nice.
What?
You get the feeling that Regina is genuinely exhausted from all the activity. She seems to have the look of someone who is tired of being on the run. She's confused. She knows her part to play in this has come to an end because of what happened to Lavion in Jrusar. She is someone that is kind of lost and definitely does not care enough to lie anymore. She feels like she's being honest purely because she's just exhausted with the game. She's exhausted with the running, the hiding, the conspiracy, the intrigue, and with no person to be able to contact outside of her own organization, she has nowhere to run. She doesn't know where the other changelings are. She doesn't know where to go. So she kind of just has that defeatist attitude about her, Eritrea. And you're kind of picking up on this vibe as Karina is kind of like doing all of her questioning.
Okay. I think that's it for now.
With that, you and Karina leave the room of confinement. Anything else you want to do before taking that long rest?
So Forn saw the body through his token of the Bright Queen dead, along with his doppelganger or whatever kind, and Corinna's doppelganger or whatever kind. So he's kind of having a bit of a mental break right now. But some of this is flavor for the subclass in Rogue that I've taken just to set up the back part of it, right? So he continues on the one hand to try and contact Artanian or Bragsworth with the token, assuming that he's still on another plane, so it's not happening. But also, he's got just a token thing that the Bright Queen gave him, setting him off on his journey, and he keeps like looking at it and like talking to it, and maybe or maybe doesn't start hearing voices in his head, but he assumes they're voices of the departed. But he's just like working furiously at trying to contact Artanian or Bragsworth. He's got this great laboratory like construction space, but all he's doing in there right now is like over and over again trying to meet that signal, or basically to meet that token that's on Bragsworth. I feel like he would do that until he passed out asleep. It's not, you know.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, and can I give Regina a copy of Anne of Green Gables to read?
It's like Anne of Green Orc Gables, so it's like, it's all a lot of on the nose and definitely kind of full of puns, and I don't know. Are you trying to punish her? Is that why you're giving her that?
Anna of Emerald Awnings. Is that what you're giving her?
Yes, that's the one. That's the classic. I think Karina is just trying to kind of show her some. I think Karina has a sense of some of her past, and she's just like trying to give her a sense of like a comforting book, but also maybe to start a book club together. We'll see how the next 24 hours will play.
Just give her your journal, right?
I don't know that you guys have it.
Give her one of your alt journals.
Excuse me.
In the safety of the Magic Mansion, you guys begin to take your long rest. Eritrea, it's strange being inside of a popular and very familiar relic such as this. You still very much long for those conversations you had with Scanlan during your travels to learn about the truth of your relationship with the organization, the Lady Sarenrae, and the small chapel within Vasselheim. You still believe him. You still believe that the way you got to the Sarenrae Temple and became influenced and under their guidance, more importantly, almost kind of semi-adopted by the paladin. I can't believe I can't remember her name right now. It's been so long. Pike Trickfoot. And she took good care of you, saw to your education, saw to you being raised within the temple. You become very reflective on the idea of this entity called the First of Azmir. Well, your first encounters seemed very kind of exploratory encounters, very kind of first-time encounters with the idea of this Divini. And they felt safe. They felt inquisitive. They felt like something was trying to show you the truth or the path of something. Maybe this was the origin story of who you were and where you were before arriving as a new infant into the care of the Sarenrae Temple. But then you keep thinking back to that encounter in the observatory in the overgrown wilds of the Odorlands, and it's confusing. It's a bit conflicting. You remember believing everything that Davini had to say to you, but this dedication of creating such a kind of zealot response to what the expectations were of you kind of took over and made you dangerous, made you unpredictable. This began to kind of proof your concern that while you may not be the current vessel, or sometimes referred to as an avatar, to deity, you get the feeling that somewhere deep down inside you contain the power or the ability to provide yourself as a vessel to those that are now currently wandering the material plane and hiding due to the outcome of what happened. This creates a little bit of confusion, some concern about your own expectations of yourself. And then, of course, there's the blade that you took possession of. It refused to identify itself. It gave no indication of a reliquary name, its purpose, its point of existence. But you were the only one that seemed capable of wielding it. You were the only one that could safely at least touch it, sort of. But everybody else it seemed to do great harm to. They were afraid that if you were able to pick it up and touch it again, maybe it might try to do something else yet again, possess your mind, take over your ability, your license of yourself. But you're pulled to the idea of that blade. Maybe it was just because the others were there. Maybe it was because the observatory was the true heart of the nature of where Davini came from, and her energy as a deity was strongest there and was most influenced over you because of that. This first of Asmar has you thinking about the first of things in general. Where does everything eventually come from? Where do Archfey come from? If they came from the Fey, where did they originate before the Fey? Where is all this power heading off to? Why is an organization of changelings pretending to be a nefarious contingent of the organization known as the Iron Collective, who are seeking out those that are responsible for the destruction of the Feywild? It would seem if the Archfey destroyed the Feywild to protect themselves and hide amongst those within the material plane, Artagnan definitely had a role to play. And it feels like Artagnan may actually be a person of interest that really needs to be rediscovered and asked yet again, what is the play here? With the absence of the divine, the celestial gate now nothing more than a place of celestial energy that seeps into the material plane. The gods and goddesses and lesser deities of Exandria have diminished into the background, but it's the natural order of things that have kind of taken over a bit. And these are the thoughts that kind of rage in your mind as you think about this, but you feel safe in the Magic Mansion. This is not a place where things can get to you, where those who have magical ability to reach into the minds of others can find their way in here. This is a safe space for you and your friends to finally take that breather, take that rest, and try to figure out what to do next. Is there anyone from your past, Eritrea, that you feel like you would try to reach out to at this point?
My distant past?
Any part of your past? Your faith is struggling. Your beliefs are still there. Who you are is what you are, but the origins of who you are confusing. You and your friends are no longer able to return to Jrusar until you clear your names. A trusted friend, Fabian, is in trouble because of everything that's happened. This is a moment of conflict.
What about if I could reach out to Kaleem,
Oh, yeah.
the hoof stopper?
That's right. Kaleem.
They're a big deal now, right? With the Wild Mother Temple, since the Dawnfather Temple is
Yeah. Kaleem. Yeah. They have become a high bearer of the temple.
That was a perfect pour sound, by the way.
That was.
Whoever like,
that was some epic. That was some
that-
epic ASMR, to say the least.
that was like movie theater. You know, they show the thing before.
Yeah.
It's something they train you when you work in restaurants for a long time.
I mean, it literally made me thirsty. I even had to take a drink of water. I was so thirsty. You feel a familiar presence in your mind. Treyo? Is that you? Where are you? I have heard disturbing rumors about you and your friends. But yet my mind can touch your mind. I don't know how this is happening, but I am not one to look into miracles without attempting to understand them.
Kaleem, what do you know? What have you heard? And what have you been told about us?
We are to understand that Jaman Sa'od seeks the safety of Ankarel due to the fact that your companion Fawn, as well as Karina, were killed while assassinating the Bright Queen. Another companion of yours, Fabian, has been taken into custody by the hand of Ord. The prancing Senator has been confiscated and shut down. Your device, your working of metal, binder, however, must have used some kind of ability to seek me out. It is here at the Wild Mother's Temple. It currently stands in the corner of my room, giving me no understanding of why it's here. Perhaps this is how you are currently speaking with me, through this miracle of machinery?
Can't speak to that directly, but I want to assure you what you've heard is false. I am with Forn and Karina. They are not dead. They were set up. And we're trying to find answers, and we're in a bit of hiding on our own. And it's not that I don't trust you, Mother, but I am feeling very wary of many people right now in the state of this world.
Give me a persuasion check on that.
Well, that's a good roll. We get one good roll a session. It's a 7.
A 7? Without you being here, Eritrea, it's difficult to understand your intent. But you have never steered me wrong before. We have had many a conversation about the city and those that are either faithful or faithless within the city. But I, too, find it difficult to trust you as well due to the circumstances. I believe that you feel that your friends are not implicated. What that means in the greater scheme of the politic, I do not know. What I do know is that rumor that the hand of Ord is taking over the Chandei Quorum The council that Jamansa Ord has put into place is now being declared permanent, and the election of a free council of Jrusar has been put on the shelf, as they say, due to the death and murder of the Bright Queen. There is a contingent of glass blades that, even as we speak, are heading here to Jrusar to investigate, along with the Hand of Ord, to determine if anyone in Jrusar is complicit in what happened to the Bright Queen. Rumors that Jrusar is raising a mercenary force continues. While originally it was being raised for the purposes of taking on King's Fall under the auspices of Callion, now it would seem that Jamansa Ord has taken on the fact that the mercenary unit is still here. They are sending them out to King's Fall in a few weeks' time, as King's Fall and Jrusar grow closer to war. The city here is being put on what can only be described as a war footing to deal with such a thing. It feels as if things are spinning out of control for all of us at Atreo. You do not need to tell me where you are, but what are you and your friends going to do in the meantime?
We're going to try to find information that can prove that we were not involved with anything with the Bright Queen. And we knew we just needed to get away, because the pot was starting to heat up.
I understand. If you need aid or help, call my name. It would seem that your contraption here, this device, allows us to communicate, but I suspect it's limited.
Thank you very much, Mother.
May the blessings of the Wild Mother follow you. And you feel this strange kind of connection fade. Thorn, you lie down in your room looking at the ceiling, knowing that all this isn't real. That's the weird part about magic. Magic has its uses, it has its purposes, it has its place. And while you no longer have to sleep on the hard ground on a bedroll, the days of traveling in the hard surfaces of the world and the unknown expectations of the world, your mentor, your partner, your friend has been killed, murdered by whoever runs or organizes this changeling organization. And it's frustrating. You want to take this anger out on Regina, but she is nothing more than a pawn, a marker in the overall picture. And as much as it pisses you off, Karina might be right. Keeping her around could be useful if there's ever a time or a chance to peel the brain matter of her back and find the truth of this organization. King's Fall is the closest you've gotten to an opportunity here. Somewhere in this city, the origin of all this sits. It makes sense. King's Fall is very remote. It sits on the border between the Hellcatch and the Oderland Wilds. It affords shelter from the harshness of the desert, but tall enough of the cliffs and peaks to be highly defensible. It is not a large organization that runs King's Fall or the Hellcatch. For the most part, it is a people that simply are good at trade and have an uncanny knack for manufactorium, the ability to build, engineer, and assemble things of metal. as proven in your discoveries of the Sentinels. Yeah, the Sentinels, the automatons that destroyed the Chandei Quorum chamber. There is an organization here that you know that could possibly aid in this understanding, but it's a matter of tracking them down. They are the remnants of the Hubatt Corsairs. During your downtime, you had discovered that they had abandoned Jrusar and set up a little smuggling operation within King's Fall. Almost as if they had read the writing on the wall and it was time to get out. You'd assume that the Ivory Syndicate had finished them off, but in fact, you know that at least one or two of their agents still reside in King's Fall. Talum is a halfling rogue, a smuggler of sorts that you've dealt with in the past. Talum is someone that you're not sure you can trust, but they are definitely someone that you should seek out to learn more information about what might be going on in King's Fall. The biggest challenge you have about being in the city is the anti-Fae rhetoric that is very much at large going on here. It would appear that anyone of any Fae heritage, Sylvan heritage, or other Fae-like heritage intent, you're not sure, could be at risk in this place. It's one of the reasons why you and Melody took on the importance of disguises to keep yourself safe. Just for a brief moment, you think back, what was it like the first time you met the Bright Queen? What's the memory for Foreign when he thinks about that?
At the time, he was still a child because he had just been an errand. He had really been an errand boy for the witches, as he knew them, from his first memories. But he had come back. He had come back to the Coven, seen it in ruins, and there were soldiers of the Bright Queen everywhere. They scooped him up and took him to her court, to meet her. And so, I mean, he was 10, 12 years old at the time, in the face of Her Majesty, right? The witches never had anything good to say about the Bright Queen, but they also didn't ever really talk about the Bright Queen. She would come up from time to time, but it wasn't like they didn't care about her because they had their own thing going. But from time to time, they would say, oh, watch out for the Bright Queen's messengers or whoever. But his first time in her presence, he was awed by the beauty of the just regal woman in front of him. And he was a little scared because he hadn't ever heard anything good about her. But she greeted him warmly, recognizing that he was Fae, that she couldn't nail down what exactly he was, but that he was Fae, and kind of welcomed him into her service at a young age. I mean, at 12. Kind of page work at first before he was old enough to be sent off on tasks that his skills, as he built them over time, proved him able to succeed at.
The challenging, as you recall it, the many different young Fae folk from all over the different regions of the Fae, when it still existed, were here. These were all the orphans of the Fae. You can even now see the hag, the witch, that stands at the edge of the tree of death. Hanging from this tree in all manners of display are all the failed hex blades before you. They're upside down, hanging by their skeletal ankles. Feed this great tree. Feed the power. While some witches funnel their power through cauldrons and other things of magical focus, this hag, a hag that you only ever knew by the name of Vorka, stands in front of you as a young person, a young fae, along with the others. As you can see, our power is not given away lightly. If you fail these challenges, the tree demands sacrifice, demands skin, bone, blood. Most importantly, it demands the magical blood of the fae that fail to rise to the occasion of our kind. We are witness to a great calamity will soon befall all of us. This is the here and now. We make you into the challenged. The challenged become Hexblade, and we set you out into the worlds and planes of existence with the expectation that you will stop this calamity from happening. Your memory of this hag fades to your memory of 10 years ago. You stand on the deck of a Bright Queen elven airship. You see dozens of them off to your right, dozens off to the left, and up ahead, a massive citadel being swallowed up by a tempest of storm and energy that was absorbing the energy and existence of the Shadowfell and the Fae, although you didn't really truly understand that at the time. All you knew is that the Bright Queen needed people, needed warriors, needed defenders to find their way out to the Shattered Isles and prevent a calamity from happening. It was only partially successful. Thousands died. The destruction was vast, out and beyond in the sea, the Lucidian Sea. While the material plane was saved the calamity of the drawing in and the creation of a new plane of existence, it was at the sacrifice of the Feywild and the Shadowfell. And as you sit there on the deck of the ship, tending to the wounded, you are torn by this outcome. Does that mean the witch is gone? Is she unable to reach out towards your soul anymore? Is your future tethered to her anymore? If you die, do you return to her? Do you even have a place to return to? Is the tree of death still anchored somewhere out there, linked to this Vorka that you found yourself tethered to yourself? Ever since then, your oath to the Bright Queen has kept you rooted, kept you in a position of understanding what to expect. And for the first time in your life, you are rooted to nothing. You have no idea what your death means. Your service seems to be of little consequence with the death of the Bright Queen. Even vengeance will not necessarily restore the warmth and companionship that you've lost. Even worse, as you drift off to sleep, you feel yourself drifting towards solitude, anger, and for the first time in your life, a door that stayed closed for a very long time cracks open just a little bit. Karina, your chambers is sparse. You are not someone who glorifies the things of material claim. Karina's journey has been one of resolute confidence that she will figure this out. She will determine what all this means. You watch as a single black feather falls in front of your face and lands on your lap as you sit on the edge of your bed staring, pondering what all this means. For the first time in a long time, you feel her presence. You're not sure how, you're not sure why she's turned her white masked face in your direction. She's here.
Hello.
That was coincidence. I was not trying to introduce
She's here.
or as the Raven.
How about it? It's the yin to Eritreo's yang there, you know. If he's Saren Ray.
Is that evil?
As the feather falls into your lap, it transforms into a familiar, rotted and fetid crow. Your familiar evil sits on its legs, perched on your knee, staring up at you. What have you done, Karina?
What happened? Why did you disappear for so long?
She is angered by you. She called me home.
Angered? What did I do to displease her?
She feels that you've lost your way. That you're no longer on the path that you set yourself on. She feels that you are becoming something more than you were ever meant to be. She is displeased. She has sent me here to collect your soul.
It is too early.
You don't control the threshold of death. She controls the threshold of death. How dare you assume that you are the one to pass justice upon the living and the dead? It is her bidding. It's her word that confines such things to the realm that she exists in. Just because the gods are fading from this world, do not assume her eye fades in connection to you.
I live to serve her. My servitude is not done.
Then you shall serve her. Your soul will be tethered to me, and I will carry you across purgatory and set you down at her feet for what you've done.
What have I done?
You've done nothing. You've done nothing in her grace. You claim to serve at the behest of her grace, but here you wander amongst these mortals as if they have future. As if this place has a future. As if their ill doings 10 years ago didn't already undo the final thread of that future.
I have requested her guidance many times before. I will request it again.
And why do you suppose she doesn't give it to you?
Perhaps I have been too strong-willed.
Strong-willed. Yeah. Your friend Fawn would call it pig-headedness. Is it true? Is it true? You were in the presence of an archfey.
Yes, I was.
Ah, an Archfey's soul would go a long way to re-tether the Raven Queen to the threshold of the gate.
And it would do much. But there are many Archfays walking among us, not as powerful as they used to be. I request her guidance. I will follow her guidance, not yours. You are still the coward who left me at the presence of another fiend more powerful than him. You are still the coward who left me the moment a worthy adversary appeared. And so excuse me for not taking your words over hers.
He hops up further up your leg to kind of stare up at you.
I am an extension of her will. What you knew me to be before I left does not exist anymore. I was passed on to judgment. The soul that was evil was purged, set loose into the great sea of the dead. She now anchors herself to you. I am a fragment of her existence. I am tethered to the silver thread of your soul and her demandings. I travel with you not as a companion, but as your watcher, your babysitter, your keeper. Do not confuse that again.
You watch as it collapses into a feather. The feather floats in front of you and then gets elongated. And then this feathered charm sits in your lap. And as it lands in your lap, you feel the divine energy of the Raven Queen kind of course up through you. You feel this mixture of anger and relief at the same time. The room begins to swirl as a tempest of purple energy in your anger, mistrust, and confusion. But then it settles down when you realize that she is displeased. She is concerned about your lack of faith, your willingness to stray from the point of your journey. You find yourself drifting off to sleep. It's the strangest thing, Professor Traveltross. As you sit upright in your room, the entire room is filled with feathers, eagle feathers, from top to bottom, side to side. And then it's almost like a moment of the Time Bandits where the feathers keep falling forever, and you're like chasing after these feathers until you find yourself flying, like you fall at first, and then you begin to glide. And as you glide, you land on the temple steps of a great Aarakocran eagle. The great eagle sits up in the throne, the massive spear in one hand, the other hand settled on his knee. He looks down at you with his huge eagle-like personage. So, it would seem that things have become difficult.
I wasn't aware that they had ever not been in this particular case. Could you perhaps give a few more details on that? Like what qualifies as difficult for you? Just so I can place myself.
Do you remember that gateway that you went through?
Yes.
And something was taken from you and replaced with something else.
Yes, we've sorted that.
You destroyed the replacement.
I did, yes.
The huge eagle face lowers itself down into your face. Get the charm back from the demon that is torturing my soul. And like the whole room just fills with feathers. And you're like, you sit up, you're by yourself looking around.
It would have been extremely helpful if you to point that out. And also, why were you in Aarakocra?
Melody, was there anything you wanted to do before your long rest? Everyone else is currently in the midst of their long rest.
I think probably I would have spent some time like curling up with Arya and trying to make sure she feels safe.
You spend the waning hours since arriving outside of King's Fall. And you find yourself following the old habit of playing with your sister's curls. It helps her fall asleep. She's uncomfortable. Eventually, she drifts off to sleep. There's something about this mansion, this magical mansion. It is a space that exists in between places. It exists in the ethereal plane for purposes of protection, allowing you to and your friends to sleep in safety and stay hidden. And for the first time in a long time, you have no real responsibilities anymore. Whatever may happen to the Prancing Centaur, whatever may happen on this journey to try to clear your friends' names, including Fabian's and others, for the first time, the only thing you feel tethered to is your sister. What do you think your first memory would come to mind of you and your sister in the Feywild before the catastrophe, before it was destroyed?
Yeah, I think before because we were like exiled, our family was exiled before the catastrophe happened.
Yeah.
I think I can probably remember like early memories of us like running around in the shadows while adults are partying, like playing under tables, like hiding in bushes, listening to people's conversations and just laughing like crazy.
It was one of these conversations that suddenly finds animus in your mind, because it's been a while since you and your sister have had time to yourselves. The two of you are playing under a very long table that is filled with both revelers, food, drink, and it's always interesting. The Feywild is not like the material plane. It's always a mirror image of the material plane. While the material plane may have granite mountains, the mountains in the Feywild are crystal and glass and color and the blossoming of color when the sunlight hits it. The sun is not like the sun here. The sun is a prismatic orb of energy, heat, and multicolored light that washes the Feywild in an almost kind of magical energy. One of the things that has always give Fey their power is the connection with the emotion of the material plane. It's been 10 years since that connection has been severed. And gradually, you and your sister are becoming less Fey and more what might be called material bound. You're losing your memory of the Feywild. It is tied into the magic of you and it. The longer that tie remains disconnected, the more memories begin to slip away, replaced with the memories that you've tethered here in the material plane, with new friends, new connections. The old world is slowly fading for you. You barely remember the name of the places that you used to visit in the Feywild as a child. You barely remember even those that exiled you out of the Feywild. While you have a solid memory of the name of your parents, it's tethered to the fact that they're connected with you here in the material plane. Your memories you unfortunately begin to realize will be gone at some point, unless the Feywild is somehow restored. But this seems an impossibility. How can an entire plane of existence ever be restored? Who contains or who can manage such magic like that? That is a magic so beyond your scope, you find yourself staring at your sister, wondering, maybe it's just better off. Maybe those final ties to the Feywild need to be severed. Maybe become resolute in the reality that you're now creatures of the material plane. You're not sure what the Iron Collective is about. You're not sure why they're doing what they're doing. But somebody is purposely eroding at the powers that be. And they're starting with Marquet. It's quite possible some of that has spilled off into Wildmount, knowing that the Bright Queen is now dead. Who's going to blame who over in Wildmount? Does that mean Tal'Dorei at some point will get involved? Will the Menagerie Coast see this as a direct threat? What will the family Dwendal think about the absence of the Bright Queen? Will they finally exercise their war to the east, now that the power that held the great Kryn dynasty together is no more? Somebody is targeting people of influence and power and creating opportunities of vengeance, revenge, destabilizing places, using this power possibly as a distraction. Find yourself beginning to drift with your sister asleep in your lap. You too eventually fall asleep. It's about 10 minutes before the Magic Mansion is expected to dispel. You guys all wake up after a long rest. You can click off a long rest. Eventually all coming down into the main chamber below. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've taken a long rest, isn't it?
Yeah, it has.
I was just realizing that. I was looking at my check boxes. I'm going, oh shit, it's been a while. You guys come down into the main chamber of the Magic Mansion. There is food already prepared by the invisible servants. The food offers 8 points of temporary hit points for the day if you consume the breakfast. But for now, you guys are gathered together for breakfast. You have maybe 10, 15 minutes before you have to exit the Magic Mansion.
First thing in the morning, Forn's still trying to contact Artanian or Bragsworth.
No luck so far. No connection.
He just about every hour or so, he's going to try and kick off a connection.
And each time you try, you realize he's not on the material plane currently.
Yeah. And as he comes to the table, he's got his eyes look different. They do the thing where they go white when he's concentrating on that, but now they're kind of like blue gray all the time now.
Whoa, that's kind of a cool look.
For my boy,
What did you do to your eyes? They're so piercing now, Foreign.
What are you talking about?
Oh, they're all like blue. You didn't do that on purpose?
I don't. What are we talking about? He grabs a knife and he's angling the knife to see his eyes.
You know, Melody has a mirror, a hand ready to go.
He's trying to look at a knife, and Melody pulls out this 100 gold piece mirror.
Yeah,
it's this huge, extravagant, audacious mirror, and she just kind of holds it up in front of you.
Fawn, are you feeling all right? Beyond that, you look a bit sickly, and just reach over and crack an egg into a glass, Rocky style.
It's a little odd for you.
It'll set you up.
It's a little odd for you for that part with the egg thing, but
why would that be weird? You eat mammals, don't you?
I'm not a man.
They're not my eggs.
Think
he
They're
takes
not in
the
a
drink,
token.
but like Thorn is also picking at it because Thorn doesn't know this has happened to his
Mhm.
eyes. He's like picking at it now as well, like trying to figure out what's going on. Hey, look, when I do the thing, does it? And he like he activates his token that he knows is in the room, like on Eritreo's token, and his eyes still go white for that. And he
Yeah,
just
like-
says like, I don't know what's going on, Treo, and like just to send the message to him, and his eyes go back again to that blue gray, like almost ethereal kind of look.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like white again, but then now back to blue. I mean, you're not possessed,
It looks
right?
cool. It looks cool.
It does. It looks great.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It was a long night. I was caught in a lot of memories that I haven't had for a while. Look, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't know where I am right now. I mean, I know where we are. I know we're outside King's Fall. We're in but me, Fawn, I don't know where I am right now.
Ford, this
Right.
is. You're normally so sure of yourself.
The Bright
And
Queen is dead.
Was that your only guiding light? You don't have purpose beyond her? Because I feel like I've sensed purpose in you many, many times.
Restoring the Fae was always my purpose, but it was always at the behest of the Bright Queen and get everything together. Now, Artanian doesn't respond. I can't reach out to him. I don't know if they're alive, if they're gone.
I might be able to help with that a little. I have contact with other planetaries spell now.
Ooh.
So if you want to use your token while I maybe modify the spell a little bit to help the token, we might be able to reach out to another plane. He would still need to want to respond, but at least it would be able to reach him if he is not in the material world right now.
That could be helpful. At least we would know if he was mad at us.
I mean, after the last interaction, I'm sure he's mad at us.
I think
We apologized for that. No harm, no foul. But I think maybe he's undercover. Like, it seems like he ran for cover just about the same time we did.
would he have been able to know whether or not the Bright Queen is the true Bright Queen? Would he been able to tell if she was true polymorphed?
I mean,
The last interaction we had together with the three of us, you all were present because it was when we met, when we discovered that Bragsworth was Artanian, and I immediately at that moment messaged the Bright Queen.
I mean to say, it seemed like the Bright Queen... Sorry, maybe I'm misremembering. The Bright Queen has already been dead. The Bright Queen that Corina spoke to was true polymorphed, right?
yeah.
But that was weeks after, like, we first talked to before the whole break and everything. When we had to take Bragsworth that day, we took him down, and that's where we found out he was Artanian. And on that time, Thorn contacted the Bright Queen, who essentially said, "Don't you fucking do that again, because you're endangering all of us by doing this." But Thorn had no reason at that point, at least, to think that wasn't the Bright Queen saying, like, hey, that's dangerous. And Artanian was also like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that.
I think my question is, if Artanian is capable of telling the Archfey apart, and I thought, was the Bright Queen an Archfey? I think I kind of maybe assumed she was because she was the queen.
I don't think so. I don't think she's Fae. She's like
Oh.
super old, but I think she's not Fae.
Okay, that makes sense. Then I assumed wrongly about her. So maybe he wouldn't have with knowing that she was true polymorphed. It's just odd. I guess it's just I'm trying to kind of patch together the timeline around it.
Could I roll to see if I could figure how long the Bright Queen looked she had been dead from the token? Because I don't think I tried that at that time.
I would say
Well,
your passive insight would give you enough feeling that she'd not been dead very long. Maybe a day.
Corinna, I don't. When I burned my token on the Bright Queen, and I saw her body, my body, and your body, she had been killed recently. It wasn't she had been dead for a long time. It was very recent, like within the day. So within 3 or 4 days from right now.
Can I try to roll insight on whether the person I spoke to was the Bright Queen or one of her copies? Or the true polymorph?
What's your passive insight?
My passive insight is where do I see my passive insight?
Same place as your passive perception.
Left side, yeah.
16.
16? You know, with everything that you've learned, maybe this is part of more of the confusion. I mean, you know that Callion is still possibly alive. We know that Jamansa Ord is in prison. The more this conversation goes on, maybe the Bright Queen isn't dead. Maybe this is more subterfuge. Maybe this is a continuation of plots within plots.
Not to give you false hope here, but I guess my passive insight is telling me that there's a chance that maybe she is not dead the same way that Jamansa Ord is not dead. If so, then maybe we can try and contact her the way you were able to reach Jamansa Ord.
I'll look over at Eritrea for that. We also might blow up, though.
I think that's a spell.
Yeah, that's kind of our MO is blowing things up. So
The first time we tried it, I think it blew up, and then the second time it worked, though.
what do you think, Forn? Does this give you any sort of additional hope? Or are you skeptical? And what purpose do you think you can find if she is gone?
I mean, look, right now, I don't know what to believe, but look, don't freak out, but I'm hearing voices.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Whose voices?
Disembodied at the moment. I don't know. They haven't, it's nothing crazy. They're like, it's like guidance, like they're helping me with stuff.
Oh.
You have any idea who they belong to?
No.
What are the voices saying to do?
They're not telling me to do anything, but when I'm doing something, they're like, I hear a voice in my head, oh, turn that screw first, and it makes it easier. I don't know. Like out of character, it's the background I took as a rogue. I took the Phantom Rogue, and the Phantom Rogue, they get like tokens. So they do tokens of the departed, which they get tokens of dead people, and I can change my proficiency of a skill at a short rest to anything I don't already have proficiency in.
That's cool.
So like I literally hear voices telling me how to do things better. And
that you wouldn't otherwise know how to do.
Yeah, and I get better.
That's
So He really does. He hears a voice in his head that says, oh, what if you tried this way? And it makes it a little better.
It's already so crowded in Forn's head. It feels
I know, right?
But that's why that also is the gray, the like the ethereal blue gray like color of his eyes now, because
cool.
he's got this connection with the dead.
It seems kind of weird that they're keeping all of these powerful people alive, right? Like, wouldn't you just, if you were planning to replace them permanently, wouldn't you just kill them?
I'm going to inform everyone of what Regina has told me thus far about the true polymorph structure in the desert, about their plans with the Fae, with the Archfey. I think because the changelings there told me kind of like about Corina, and I assume all the changelings already know about Corina Prime, I might as well tell everybody else that Corina Prime is an Archfey. I'll explain that I was a little concerned in Lavion's head when he said that it would involve killing her, because I wasn't really sure if everybody's agenda for her would involve killing her or hurting her in some way. Also, kind of to clarify that we do need to figure out if we can find more mind shielding rings, because Crimp's power is that he can do a deep dive of our thoughts just by looking at us, which is, I think, why the changelings are so big on not knowing stuff, but also that it seems to be a weakness that we can exploit. And then for things that feel specific to people, I'll try and message that to them in private, and then they can choose if they want to share them to the group.
Look, I know of a halfling supposed to be here still in King's Fall, connected to some fancy tinkering groups, and I think if we were to investigate, perhaps if there was a way, I don't know, reestablish the Fae that didn't involve killing, but involved some kind of artificing, they may be a direction to look out. We do still have that shard of a heart star. It's still in the hole.
Man, we really need to look at that hole and see what we have. I think we've accumulated
a lot of stuff in there.
We still haven't told Karina about the sword, though, right?
Correct.
You guys seem pretty beat up, so what was going on there?
It's a long story. Anyway, back to the matter of the halfling form.
About what you saw at the temple using lore legends. Before I forget.
Well, you have to actually be at the temple for it to. Or are you telling them what you experienced?
What you learned.
Gotcha.
That are you? You tell him in front of all of us, or you just tell him directly?
Ideally, I would first inform people individually of stuff that relate to them. So I think for you, it would be that the hag is looking. I think what was it? Was it Sylvan? I think I know a little bit about your connection with hags, so I can assume that this is relating to you enough that I can just inform you of that privately. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. And for Eric, it would be all the creepy good guy god stuff that are totally nice and not scary.
You missed out on the fun while you were out swimming.
Well, I was pretty mad at you for physically chasing me away. learning,
I
ascending
was
of.
just mad at you for getting in a fight with an archfey.
I wasn't trying to get into a fight. I was trying to get information about why it would have met with Regina. It seemed so unbelievable that it would be a coincidence. And that meant two things. Either that Artagnan was working with the Iron Collective, or that the Iron Collective had a way of finding those, including Archon, and knew that he was an Archfey, in which case he wasn't safe where he was. It just felt like a good bargain to try and read its mind one last time. And also, the only reason we were still there was because you kept trying to fight me. Okay, now it's out of my system. We're done.
She jams like a big cranberry muffin in her mouth.
When did we do what Artagnan asked us to do that it turned out poorly?
We don't know him that well. We don't really understand his motives that well. Just because he claims to be with the Fae does not mean that he's beyond questioning. It's kind of like...
He gave us hospitality. He allowed us into his Fae pocket. He allowed us to have a Fae pocket within
not saying
a place of safety in our location. He offered us good things.
We don't need to reignite that particular fight, but I'm going to say in the future, because as a changeling, it kind of creates a situation in which I'm always under some amount of suspicion. I'd appreciate it if there would be some kind of communication regarding things like that, rather than just straight up attacking me, okay? That feels fair, that feels very reasonable. And obviously we have different approaches to some of those individuals we encounter, be them divine or mortal. I'm not attacking him. I did not mean to attack him. I just tried to find out information that could have also been beneficial to him. That being said, we are in a world of spies right now. People who may not be directly aligned against us might still be people that we need to question. And that's it. Now we can move on.
As I stated from the start, I am for everything to do with the Fae, and I will do whatever I can to protect and preserve and recreate the Fae, if that is at all possible. So when I see you endangering an Archfey, damn near a deity for my people, I cannot take that lightly. So please understand. Now knowing that Corinna Prime is also a true polymorph Archfey, she is on my priority list of protecting.
Can I just know, what did I do to endanger him, other than try to find out information that would have been potentially helpful in defending it as well?
Artagnan was very clear when he said, leave him alone.
It was just a little bit of information. It's fine.
And what happened?
He attacked us, and
yes, he attacked us. Why did he attack us?
To be honest, there was something very odd about his attack. When I tried to reach into his mind, he was kind of consumed by a magical madness. So that situation is still under some suspicion. My point is, in the future, do not chase me away. I do not want to hear any personal messaged threats. I do not care about your excuses. I do not care who is siding with you. If you have any issues with me, you can talk with me, you can talk with the team, but I will not be attacked by the entire team.
I do believe I said out loud, do not attack the rock or I will attack you. I said that very clearly, very loudly before the fight.
As this conversation goes on, unfortunately, it causes you all to miss the timing of the end of the Magic Mansion. So it's like you're in the midst of eating, and then all of a sudden, one by one, you're all ejected out the door, kind of landing on your feet inside this massive cave. Because that's where you had set up the door to seek shelter in the cave. You set up the entrance to the Magic Mansion. The Magic Mansion reaches its, it has to terminus. It collapses. You guys are all getting up off the ground, dusting yourselves off. There's about 24 goblins staring at you.
What?
You could see campfires in the cave. There's this strange metallic automaton. Its metal visor comes up, and there's this goblin face inside the visor, chewing on something to smoke. All the goblins begin to screech and backpedal away from you. This wiry goblin comes out from behind a rock, holding this like massive spear in its hand. Interlopers! Kill them!
Oh, hey!
No.
I need everybody to roll for initiative, please.
Oh no.
Do y'all know Darwin? He's a friend of mine.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Ooh.
Way
I
to
just rolled
go.
a 19. Wait.
Way to
Yeah,
go.
I just rolled a 19.
Cool. I rolled a 2.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that
rolled up.
sucks.
I got a 6.
Oh, that's pretty high for Eritrea.
With my bonus, it's a 6, but I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 5, so
I did good. I got a 13 plus 8. So
Oh, look at that. 21. How awesome is
Yeah.
that with a 19?
But I'm sure that
Eritrea, you never cease to fail. I'm going to assume that Thorn's dex is higher. So I'll put Thorn in front of Eritrea. Professor, you are up with all the goblins on deck.
Yeah, you said that there was a big guy in like an automaton suit.
Yeah, this guy
Okay,
right
sorry.
here.
All right. How close am I to him?
You're about 30 feet away.
I'm just
Of course, he's also surrounded by anywhere from 18 to 20 additional goblins, and there is a variety. Some of them, like as you're looking through them all, some of them are riding pigs. Some of them have like these entire bandoliers of already lit grenades on their bodies. Some of them have like mechanical arms, partially mechanical faces. They have like wild tribal hair. There's some that are riding barrels that have like these rifles on the barrels that they've got their hands placed on, like they're getting ready to pull triggers. But then you hear like some heavy foot stomps. And that's when you notice in the background, this one particular ogre starts walking forward, and there's a goblin sitting up in the catapult that's on its shoulders. And there's other goblins on him climbing up the front and sides of him. And you just look over to see this one wiry goblin point over as you watch as one of the goblins, the launcher goes off. The goblin goes right over you, smashes into the wall behind you. And there's just like goblin body parts everywhere as another goblin's climbing into the launcher.
Oh no.
what is going on?
Okay. Then. First thing is, I do not see anything. The way this is worded, it's weird. So I'll post it in the Discord because it says on a hit, but it's worded like it's just instantaneous, like it's a.
Well, what's the effect? What are you trying to do?
It's poison spray.
There should be a save, or is that a ranged attack?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's a ranged attack, but it's a ranged attack spell. But
I think it's a dexterity save, I think.
No, that's breath weapon for a dragonborn. Poison spray, I believe, is a ranged attack now in the 2024 rules.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything. It just has a +6 to my damage roll, but that's it. So it's like I don't know what that would do. It doesn't actually list anything.
Well, no, you still have to roll the hit.
Yeah, I know.
A ranged spell attack on a hit, 1d12 damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but
you've got a lot of targets between you and the others, kind of like strewn throughout. I mean, what's the range on poison spray?
30 feet.
30 feet?
What?
I mean, yeah, you've got quite a few targets in front of you could choose from.
All right, I was gonna go for the big guy in the mech suit. I rolled, and is it straight modifier or is it spell attack modifier?
I believe it's called a ranged spell attack, correct?
Yeah, so spell attack
it's,
modifier.
it's a because I got this as one of the cantrips I learned with my last level.
Yeah. So it's
just
considered a ranged
necromancy
spell
damage.
attack. So you roll a d20 and add your spell attack modifier to it. And you don't need to make a casting roll because it's a cantrip.
Right. That would be a 19 because it's a wizard spell.
Yep, that'll definitely hit. Roll for damage.
All right. Do I have 2d12 open in front of me? I do not. So, okay, so. Using dice I don't normally use. Yay. D12s. Screw it. We're going to do the D20, or sorry, the roll 20 for right now, just because I don't have my dice ready. Well, that kind of sucks. He takes 12 total poison damage.
12 points of poison damage. You watch as the spray comes arcing out towards it. It kind of like descends down onto the metal suit that the goblin's wearing. It begins to kind of pivot and spin around as the spray covers his face and into the interior of his suit. And he starts screaming. Ah! It's like screaming and kind of swatting at it, trying to get it to stop.
Let's see. For the next one, I'd like to do just fly up, just kind of hover in the air, and I'm going to do a moonbeam, just target like the most goblins I can get within that 10-foot circle. I think that's kind of like the 3 or 4. Probably those on the.
I would say you could get these 5 like right here.
Yeah. So
and that's wisdom saves?
Or con? Wisdom save. And
yep.
I'll go ahead and do that at 2nd level. So
yeah, give me a casting roll. You need a 12 or higher.
I'm sorry, it's 3rd level because it's already a 2nd level spell.
So yeah, so give me a 13 or higher on your casting roll.
That's fine. That's 16 without a modifier.
Yep, you're good. Right. That is going to be 4 fails and 1 success.
Okay, so they all take 3d10, which, again, I was not expecting a fight, so I don't have my dice in front of me. I'll get those set up on someone else's turn. But, yeah. Come here, you. Come here, little shit. Alright, so that's 11. 18 points of, radiant damage to all 5 of them.
9 for the one who saved, and 18 for the rest. Mm-hmm. All right, you got 1 AP left. Oh no, you're 1 AP to move, 1 AP for the cantrip, and 2 AP for the spell. So that will finish the professor's turn. The Gobos are up with Melody on deck. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are going to hurl blasty bombs at you guys. I need everyone to give me 3 deck saves.
Plus 5.
Yeah, plus 5 because of that level 10 that we're at.
All right.
Wow. I rolled 3 dice at the same time, and 2 of them were 11 without modifiers. So plus 5, though, you said? So
yep.
Plus 5 to whatever your current deck save is.
Cool. So
except for Jalbatross.
That gives me a plus 13 to all my rolls there.
Nice.
So that's a 16, 24, and 2 24s, I guess. 16.
Okay, so those will all save. So you'll only take half damage.
I got a 22, a 15, and a 13.
13 will fail, and the 15 will fail as well.
16 is my lowest.
Those will all succeed. 16 is the DC. Eritrea, what'd you get?
13 or 12, 16, 21.
So 1 will fail. Professor Albatross, what'd you get?
Just posted 17, 23, 20.
Okay. So everyone who rolled a 16 or higher take half of 26 points of piercing damage. Anybody who rolled a 16 or lower take 26 points of piercing damage.
Are Regina and Arya also subject to this?
Yeah, Arya will have failed 1 and succeeded on 2. She will take half of the damage.
All right.
And that's right. I gotta put out a Regina figure, don't I?
Regina George.
Of course, her hands are bound and she has no ability to do anything, but we will
Ford's okay with that.
Oh, I know Forn's okay with that. Put her back here in the rocks. Says a marker, so we have her. All right. The pig riders will then charge. So I've got 2 pig riders. One is going to charge into base with Karina. The other one is going to charge into base with Forn. 2 attacks coming at you, Forn.
Yep.
That is going to be a dirty 20 and 11.
1 hits.
Okay. That's going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's 4 over my armor class.
Oh, that will be an additional 1 point of bludgeoning damage. 2 attacks coming at Karina. That is going to be a dirty 20 and a 10.
The 20 will hit.
That's going to be, what's your armor class?
17.
Okay, so it's going to be 6 points of bludgeoning damage to you. Let's see. This pig rider is going to come across and get in base with Regina. Be 2 attacks. She is unarmored, so both of those will hit. Is going to be 19 points of bludgeoning damage. And she's looking rough. Let's see. All the pig riders went. The barrel riders will pivot. And they will unleash their rounds. Let's see. They do area of effect. I need everybody to make a strength save, if you would, please.
Oh.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, my dice.
This is not a spell, right?
No, these are ranged attacks.
Dirty 20 for Professor.
15, 1-5.
All right, that will fail.
12.
That will fail.
I got a 14.
That'll fail as well.
20.
20, that'll pass. Professor,
Dirty 20.
that'll pass as well. Professor and Karina will take half of 18 points of piercing damage. That's only 9. Everybody else will take 18 points of piercing damage. Let's see. Regina will take half because she made hers. Ariana will take half because she made hers as well. However, the end of their round, or at the end of their shooting, they have to roll a d6. Ooh. You watch as one of them just simply explodes.
What?
Like as it gets to the, it's like, and the shots will go off, and then all of a sudden it just explodes, creating a gout of flame and shrapnel that patters down around all those that are around him. Let's see. The goblin launcher is going to launch on Eritrea. That's going to miss as yet another goblin arcs over you and splats into the wall as you watch another goblin crawl into its place. He'll make one more shot. Ooh, that's a natural one. You watch as the catapult comes apart on the shoulders. All the other goblins just kind of get thrown and launched off into different directions. You watch as the catapult arm kind of overextends, and as it does, it like extends and slams into the midriff of the ogre, who kind of goes, grabs its belly as the catapult launcher is now disabled from a misfire. However, this goblin will swarm in to get into base with Eritrea. This one will get into base with Eritrea as well. This one will climb up to get into base with Regina. Let's see if I get rid of some of the cliff face so I can... There we go. Let's see. The goblin chieftain will run and hide over here, get out of the moonbeam. These guys, the shaman will follow him over here. This one will scamper up the wall, get into base with Melody. This one will also come up and get in base with Melody. See, that's one of the throwers. The thrower. The oof. I know he wouldn't do that because there's too many other goblins in the way. This one will come up, get in base with Thorn. This one is going to move out of Moonbeam and over here. And then hold its action. Let's see. This one's going to kind of stomp through, get over here, get up in the base with Regina. This one's going to run into base with Eritrea. Let's see. The Shaman is going to cast Bless on herself. Her casting roll will go off. The Arcane Goblin is going to cast Magic Missile on Melody. Melody, that's going to be 12 points of force damage from Magic Missile. Let's see. All right. Eritrea, you have 3 attacks coming towards you. All 3 of those are going to miss. Thorn, you have 3 attacks coming towards you.
All right.
All miss except for the natural 20. But Ariana will silvery barbs it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's still an 18 plus 8
Still
is
hit.
a 26. That
plus,
is going to be
8, 12, 10 over my armor class.
Yeah, that's going. Well, we only do +5 over armor class. We don't double that up anymore. That's going to be 9 points of slashing damage. Melody, you have just 1 attack coming at you.
Right.
That's going to miss.
Love it.
Professor Jalbatros, the 3 guys that threw explosives into the group are now going to throw daggers up at you. So 3 attacks coming at you. Only 1 will hit with a 26. Is going to be 5 points of piercing damage. Let's see. The wizard has 2 AP left. She is going to cast. Gleaming Strike on Professor Jalbatros. Professor, this is going to be a ranged spell attack. Her casting roll is good. Ooh, her ranged spell attack is a natural 20, but Ariana will cast Silvery Barbs again and cause that to re-roll, and that will be a miss.
Yes. Let's go, Arya.
That will finish the bad guy's turn. Melody, you are up with Karina on deck.
Okay, I will say up front, I have essentially no area of effect spells, so someone else do that, please.
I'm working on it.
I will take a swing at the guy or guys in front of me.
Okay.
Is there one guy in front of me or 2?
There's 2. There's one that's kind of crawling and acting really feral.
Okay.
You notice that half his face is metal and the ends of his fingers are like these extended metal, like slashing daggers.
Okay.
And his teeth are mostly metal as well.
Okay. All right. Let me take 2 swings. Honestly, at the scary metal dude.
I love how Arya is standing there like, my drink.
One of those is a nat 1, so I would guess that doesn't hit, but the other one is a 25.
Oh, yeah. 25 will definitely hit with an extra d4 of damage.
All right. Let's smite it up. I'll do a Divine Smite level 2.
And that's a casting roll for those, correct?
That is a casting roll.
So I need a 12 or higher.
All right, 12 or higher. I now have +9 to attack, so just got to be a 3. It's a 12. All right, so we're good. It's a 12 plus 9.
Did you roll a 3 or did you roll a natural 12?
I rolled a natural 12 plus 9.
There you go. Okay. Still almost became a nail biter.
Yeah. Okay, so I will do my Divine Smite, which is 3d8. Oh, I thought it would roll, but it's okay. Oh, terrible roll. Okay, 8 on the Divine Smite out of 3d8.
Ooh,
Plus a d4. Oh, I'm never rolling in D&D Beyond again. Plus a d4, which on the natural dice is a 4. So that's 12 plus my just regular sword damage is 1d8 plus 3. So. Oh, that's an 8. So we're at 20 plus 3, 23 points of damage.
Points of damage. You just watch as you slam down into his chest. It bursts open. He grabs up at the wound, and his eyes roll back in his head as he collapses dead to the ground.
Yes. Okay. Let me take a swing at this other guy right in front of me.
Okay.
I'll do 2 attacks. That is a 20 or a 17 and a 23.
Both will hit. The 23 will have an extra D4 of damage.
Okay. Well, let me do the first attack. So that's 1d8. Where my d8s go? Here it is. Okay, so 4 plus 3 is 7, plus an additional d4 is 1 is 8. That's my first attack.
Okay.
I presume he's still alive at this point.
Still in the fight. He's kind of wiry and resilient, but he definitely took the hit.
All right, let's smite this guy on the second round. I'll do a level 2 smite again.
Casting roll.
Casting roll. That's a 9 plus 9 is 18, so
You're
that
good.
should be fine.
Yep, smite goes off.
Okay, so 3d8, that's a 5, plus a 7 is 12, plus a 1 is 13, plus another 2 is 15, plus another 3 is 18.
Nice. He is looking very rough, but he's scrappy and still in the fight.
Oh my god.
You still have 2 AP left.
Okay. Let's take
It's
flame
funny
this
now that
guy.
I'm like focused in on Melody's mini. It's like it's a little scandalous.
It's fine. The goods are covered.
That's a heck of a crop top.
I think I'm in love, actually.
All right, let me hit this guy one more time.
All right, that's at disadvantage.
Oh.
Unless
What if
if you spend the 2 AP, then it's a regular attack.
Why don't I sacred flame him?
Ooh.
Because that's changing the form of attack, right?
Yeah, but it's still at close range, so it's a dex save for Sacred Flame, right?
Yes.
Okay, yep.
Is it
He'll
gonna
have
be...
an advantage because of close range. He's in base with you.
All
so
right.
he'll have advantage.
I don't care about this guy enough. I'm gonna do mirror image instead.
Oh.
So mirror image, 3
Yeah.
illusory duplicates of me appear in my space until the spell ends. They move with me and mimic my actions. Each time a creature hits me with an attack roll, I roll a d6 for each of my remaining duplicates. If any of the d6s roll a 3 or higher, one of the duplicates is hit instead of me.
Before we convince ourselves it works, let's make sure we make that spell casting roll.
Ah, yes. Yes. Okay. So it's a 2nd level illusion spell. So I just have to get... got to roll a 3 on the dice.
Yep.
That's a 2! No!
Do you want my 100, Flexa?
It's all right. I can roll it.
Go ahead and give me a D100 on the... You are considered divine, correct?
Well, I'm part
Well, that's an arcane
paladin,
spell,
part
though.
bard. That was an arcane spell.
Yeah, so it's going to be under the arcane wild magic. Yeah, go for it.
Man, it does seem better to be on the divine table, I have to say.
I don't know. I like my soul where it is.
Oh,
Well,
no. I just rolled a
not knowing
62.
where.
I think I'm about to be cheese.
No, that's 54, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, 54 is chunk of cheese. 62. Elemental bloom. A 20-foot radius zone sprouts around you of elemental flora for the next minute. It's lightly obscured, provides half cover to creatures you choose, and deals 2d6 fire, cold, lightning, or acid, your choice, to enemies that enter or start their turn. A dex save will happen against your spell DC.
Oh, love that. Okay, well,
The spell does not go off, though. You do burn the 2 AP, but
Okay.
that's the effect after your failed spell goes off.
So here's a question. I have an ability where if I cast an enchantment or illusion spell, there's a secondary effect where someone else like gets charm person cast on them. I assume because my spell didn't go off, that secondary ability doesn't trigger.
Yeah,
Okay.
secondary wouldn't take effect.
Okay, so I think that's my turn, and I would designate all of my friends as having half cover in that 20-foot.
Yeah, so
Sphere.
let me make a couple deck saves here. That's all. That's a bunch of fails. Since it's your effect, go ahead and roll 2d6, and you can declare either fire, cold, lightning, or acid damage.
Okay. God, I just rolled 2 1s.
It's
Uh,
gonna be 2 points of whatever kind of damage you want to.
yeah, let's go fire damage. That
Okay.
seems like sort of
Anybody-
a good aggression approach.
Good to know. That will finish your turn. Karina, you are up with Forn on deck.
I am going to cast Wall of Light, kind of like right on the goblin that is currently in front of me, and ideally, is there anybody in front of me that like would be hurt by it from our team?
No, because you and Forn are kind of side by side right now, with this whole line of goblins kind of charging in to where you guys all are within the cave.
I'm gonna aim on the line of goblins.
Yeah, there's suddenly a bloom of light. What level are you casting this at?
I am casting it in the 5th level.
Yeah, give me a 15 or higher on your spell casting roll.
Man, no. Well, that's 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 an that's an 11.
What'd you roll?
I have D6. It's a 2 plus 9.
2 plus 9 is 11, but
I have
You
heroic
do-
inspiration.
you do have heroic inspiration. You are allowed to roll that. So you just need to get 4 or more on that D6.
Yeah, it's 2.
2.
Yes.
Give me a
Why are you
D1.
Okay.
This is fun. It's fun.
Karina, go ahead and give me a D100 if you would, please. And this would also be, that's an arcane spell, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so this will be on the arcane table.
That's an 11.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no!
That is going to be Hungry Rift. A black and purple portal open up around you and all your friends. These tendrils of energy begin to claw at everybody around, including the goblins as well. Let's see. That's going to last up to a minute. At the end of each of your turns, you are free to make a strength save. However, at the currently as the Hungry Rift is in place, everybody is going to take 9 points of necrotic damage, including all of the goblins as well.
Oh my lord!
I have resistance to necrotic.
You do, so you only take 4 points of necrotic damage.
So
So
Question.
I have been keeping a tab on all my damage rolls. So far, is it just a 10 to maintain concentration?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, cool. I'm good.
you have to hit you for
Yeah,
more
I
than
rolled a 20
20.
on that, so we're good.
Yeah, they have to hit you for more than 20 for it to be anything other than 10.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Nobody's hit me for more than 20, so cool. We're fine.
Fair enough.
I had a question about this effect. Would the disengage or anything like that not work here?
No. The rift is open for up to a minute. And as long as it remains open, you at the beginning of your turn, you can attempt to make a strength saving throw to pull yourself out of the rift of a DC 15 or higher.
So, but no spell can get you out either, though.
I would say the only spell that could get you out would be Phase Step.
Or like Misty Step, or
Or Misty Step. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
All
I
right.
just wanted to make sure before my turn came up.
Okay. You still have 2 AP left, Karina.
Cast another spell. Cast another spell.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. So, question: if I try to cast summon Jack-o'-lantern, which is just like a giant Jack-o'-lantern with 100 hit points that can either be around someone to kind of be used as like a shield or a thing that like binds them. Can I put it in front of the portal, like that is facing us, and try and use it in a way that?
Well, it's a portal. It's a rift of 15 feet long that appears underneath you, and everybody within 15 feet of it. These necrotic arms are coming out and pulling them towards the rift and doing necrotic damage. I don't think the jack-o'-lantern is going to be big enough to be able to cover the size.
Would it kind of just like shield members of the group from the tendrils or from the?
No, because they're more of a magical effect than a physical effect.
Then I think I am going to. Does Regina feel more or less okay? Do I need to think about protecting her at this moment, or is she kind of just like hanging in there?
I mean, she looks rough.
Is Arya next to her?
No, Arya and Melody are up on the ledge over here. You and Foreign are in the front of the ledge there. Eritrea is up there. Jabatros is hovering right above everything. And then Regina is directly behind you and Foreign.
Okay. So, is it a bad idea to try cast Wall of Light again?
That's exactly why we don't have spell slots anymore. It's a great idea to cast Wall of Light again.
Listen,
down.
I'm in the hole, you guys, but I think my luck is about to turn.
Oh no.
as she pulls the arm on the one-armed bandit and rolls the dice.
Okay, I just need more than 5. Come on, baby. Yes. Okay, that's gonna be an 18. No, that's an 11 plus 9. It's a 20.
Yeah, 20. So this huge wall of light comes up as your spell goes off. Is there a save or is there just an effect?
So, it's a +9 to hitting, and I guess there's the initial kind of like creating the light, and then afterwards it can shoot out little bits of light, I guess.
Each creature in its area makes Constitution saving throw. Failed save is 48 radiant damage.
Yes.
And blinded. for a minute.
Nice.
And blind turn.
Let me do a bunch of con saves. That is
It's on
3.
16.
Yep. 3 fails, 1 save. 3 fails, 1 save, but Ariana's going to use a 3rd AP to silvery barbs that. That will be 4. So a total of 7 fails, 1 success.
Okay, that's not bad. It's gonna be 30 damage, or half of it if they save.
Ooh, that's a lot of
30.
damage.
That is
Oh,
a lot. Of
5th
damage.
level. That's why. Yeah. I was like 3d8. How'd you get 30? Oh yeah, it's 5th level. That's more than 3.
And then if they didn't save, then they are blinded for their turn.
Yeah, so 7 of them are now currently blind. However, they had already taken, some of them already taken quite a bit of damage. So the 2 pig riders get dragged into the rift and are no more.
And I think the wall stays up for the wall stays up, so any kind of ranged attack that are made at us would be made from the other side of the wall.
Yeah, I think it lasts. Hold on, let me double check.
It's a concentration spell up to 10
Yep.
minutes.
Yeah, you are currently concentrating on Wall of Light. This guy would have been dragged into the rift because he would have died from the radiant damage. These guys are barely on their feet. And anybody doing any ranged attacks on you will be at disadvantage because of the Wall of Light. All right. That'll finish Karina's turn. Forn, you are up with Eritrea on deck.
Yep.
Now, are there benefits to your allies? Can you see through it? Forn is the question.
I'm gonna bamf away anyway, so.
Gotcha, because you want to avoid the. Oh, by the way, Karina, give me a strength saving throw. See if you can break out the effects of the rift.
That's an 11.
Okay, you are still under the effect of the rift, but you don't take damage until the beginning of your next turn because you are the source of the failed spell. Forn, actually, before you Misty Step, you automatically get a chance to save. So go ahead and just make a strength save to see if the rift unaffects you.
+5.
Oh, cool. Well, +5 is 23 then. So.
Okay, so you are no longer tethered to the rift. Karina, did you add a 5 to your roll?
I didn't, so that would have
Okay,
been.
so you are no longer tethered to the rift as well.
Okay, if that's the case, rather than Misty Step, I'm going to. If they are blinded, can they make opportunity attacks against me?
Yep, at disadvantage.
Okay, well then I'll disengage anyway then, because I can bonus action disengage, and I will. I'm trying to go. Forn's going to go towards the chieftain.
Currently, I believe Moonbeam is active right here.
Okay, well, I'll avoid Moonbeam, but I'm kind of going towards the chieftain.
Okay. So are you going through this way?
Yeah.
Okay. It will trigger an attack of opportunity from this guy right here.
Even with disengage?
Well, yeah, because that only allows you to move away from the person you're in base with. As soon as you pass within base of another person, they then get a chance of attack of opportunity.
Okay, let me go around the other side of the Moonbeam then.
There is another guy here as well by the fire.
Damn. Well, all right. Shoot. Well, let me change directions then. Let me get up over on the ledge behind Eritrea then, instead of trying to chase the chieftain down.
All right.
Yep. So that way, at least I've got some height now.
Yep. They'll put you right there by Eritrea.
Yep. So first action. The first besides movement, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cast Entangle.
Is that a spell?
Yeah, it's a spell, so I have to roll for it. But explain where I want it first. I'm aiming for the edge of the diameter. I'm aiming for the edge of the diameter of Entangle to catch the goblins that are right at the light wall. And I think it's. Let me read the distance on it real quick.
So I moved the wrong one. That's
it's
fun.
20-foot square, so
Okay.
I kind of want to catch them at the edge of one side of the square, and then go 20 feet back towards the rest. If that makes sense.
Got you. So you want to catch these two down here.
Well, I want to catch the whole row if I can. If I can get all 3 or 4 or 5 across there.
Well, it's a 20-foot square, right?
Yeah. Yep.
5, 10, 15, 20, 15, 20. So I would say you can get...
going the other direction. Sorry, I'm going towards our party side because I want to keep them caught in that area of effect thing.
So you want to do it here, these 4?
Yeah. And then go away from them. So if anyone comes close to us, they're going to get caught up in it also.
Gotcha.
So it catches them. They can't move. Anybody else coming close is going to get hung up in it, or theoretically. But let me roll real quick first for it. Sorry. I'll do that. It's just the first level. So I just have to get at least 5. That's a 10. So cool. 10 plus 6 is 16. So I cast it with no problem.
All right, so that will overwhelm the area with entanglement. So do they have to make a save at as soon as they're...
It's a strength save. I just had it open and I closed it. Sorry, just a second. It is each target other than me must succeed on a strength save or have the restrained condition till the spell ends. And it's a DC 14 strength
Does
save.
it say when they have to make the save?
When you cast the spell, and then a restrained creature can take an action to make a strength check.
Gotcha. So that is going to be 4 saves.
Yeah, and it's DC 14, so it's nothing crazy, but it is difficult.
No, that's going to be 4 fails. So all 4 of those guys trapped like in the blinding light are now finding vines entangling and swarming up their legs as they are now restrained.
It's also whoa.
That doesn't sound great.
It's also difficult terrain for anyone coming into that area as well.
Correct. Gotcha.
And then my last AP, I'm going to.
Was that Tally? Are you okay? What'd you lose?
Just my pencil case. It's okay.
Oh, I thought it finally happened. You lost your marbles.
More nice.
Dad
That was a
joke.
few
Dad
sessions
joke.
ago. That was a few sessions.
Ding!
So can you move the map down? Or yeah, because I should be able to see those guys. Yep.
And you have 1 AP left.
Yep. So I'm gonna try and fire at. I'm gonna fire at the cannon guy because that thing sucked.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So go to my attacks. I don't have advantage on the attacks, but I will get, if I hit, I'll get a bunch of good stuff. That's 9 plus 10 is a 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Cool. All right, lots of damage. Sorry, that's because I get now Dreadful Strikes is a D4
Yep.
plus. If I hit, I can use Whales of the Grave now, which will put a D6 on someone else near them. Let me look at the range on that one real quick though. It's within 30 feet, so cool. So I'm gonna look for somebody that looks bad, and I'm gonna somebody's looking rough, and I'll bounce this D6 off of them.
Okay.
And then no sneak attack though because we're up there. Cool. So just D4. Okay. Sorry. And my D12, 2D12. Yay, 2D12. So that is a 12 and a 9, 21 plus the psychic damage of 1. So 21 piercing plus 1 psychic damage on that hit.
And he rolled a 1 on his save. So the cannon will explode.
Cool.
Nice.
And the other
Floats upward as shrapnel goes splattering down on the area.
And the other, I'm just looking for a rough-looking goblin at this point. We'll take 5 necrotic damage.
Okay, so one of the bomb throwers takes 5 necrotic damage. I believe that finishes your turn.
That's it for my turn.
All right, Eritrea, you are up. Then we'll be at the top of the second round with Jalbatros on deck.
Are all my buddies within 30 feet of me?
Yes, I would say. Do you classify Regina and Ariana as your buddies?
I'm probably, because I know Regina's kind of messed up. I want to do mass cure wounds.
Okay, that's up to what, 6 targets?
Up to 6 targets. So, and I don't think Ariana's been injured yet, so I was gonna not target her, but I was gonna target me.
She
Regina.
took 18 points of damage, so she's been hit.
She's been hit.
Hey, there was a thing on there that it came with my 9th level, and it's never been. I don't think it really does anything. When adding 4 to initiative, move anyone above the goblins in turn order, because that's my aura, the Sentinel.
It would move me above.
Okay, because that's the thing. If she started,
Yeah.
All right,
That would actually technically put Melody before you if you had 4, correct?
I'm fine with that. But yeah, it's
Go ahead and change your initiative to 23, Mel. And you're now on deck after Eritrea.
Ooh.
I'm assuming you started within 10 feet of me. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we were all in a pile coming out of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
out of the
I
mansion.
figured, but like it's a weird little effect that's buried at the very bottom. I think it's like, oh,
That's cool.
okay then. Yeah. And it's just an effect, so. Cool.
So then is that 18 damage pretty damaging to Ariana?
I mean, Ariana has 72 hit points, so she's still. I mean, she's
still
on her
doing all
feet. Yeah.
So I want it. Well, first I got to cast to see. I got to roll for this.
Yeah,
But,
one of the infamous Eritrea spellcasting rolls.
Also, Ariana is standing
I'll
next to her. Arya is standing next to her sister, who can heal.
True.
Good. So I got a 24.
Yep, you're good. The spell will go off. So go ahead and roll the healing.
So that's 5d8 plus 11 to everybody but Ariana.
Wow.
I think Karina is fine for now if you want to give it to Ariana.
Oh yeah, I'll give it to Ariana then. So that's 12, 16, 21, 27, 38 points of healing back
Healing.
there.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Lauren feels a
Level
lot better
10
now.
heals, man.
38.
Those were fun.
I'm sorry, how many points was that? I was texting
38.
38. Damn. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm back up to full health, so.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know I always got pretty messed up on that.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Yep.
And I will cast Spiritual Weapon as a bonus action.
Nice. Go ahead. It is a spell, so go ahead and give me a
Spell.
casting roll.
That is a 17.
17,
So-
you're good. So spiritual weapon will come into existence.
And then I will attack this redheaded bomb thrower or like asshole goblin in front of me.
Ha! Go for it. And you're going to use spiritual weapon on him?
Spiritual weapon. So
Yep. All right.
that is a 24 to hit.
24 will definitely hit with an extra d4 of damage.
So spiritual weapon. I mean, I rolled it at third level. That's 2d8 plus 4 is 6. Then you said another d4 I get to roll.
Yep.
Whoop. 4 dice. That's a 4, so that's 6, 10. 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. Go ahead and give me a strength save. I forgot to have you do that at the beginning of your turn.
Dirty 1.
31.
So I got
Melody, did you do a strength save during your turn at the start of your last turn? Oh, no, that's right, because Karina went after you. That's right, Karina went after you. Sorry, my bad. That finished your turn, Eritrea?
that finishes my turn, yes.
All right. Top of the second round, Melody, you are up. Go ahead and give me a strength save to see if you can avoid the effects of the Hadar or of the Rift.
All right. That's a 24.
Yep, you are no longer contained by the Rift.
Excellent. All right, let me slash at this guy right in front of me.
Yep.
I'll do 2 attack. Let's see, that's a 18 and a 16.
Both will hit. Roll for damage.
Okay, awesome. All right, so that's an 8 plus 3 is 11. I'll throw a Divine Smite on it at first level, just to really eliminate. Okay. let's
Give
see
me that casting roll.
out of the box. Okay, that's a 17 plus.
You're good.
nine.
Your
That's
spell
fine.
spell goes off.
So I was at 11. Now I'm going to add 2 more d8. So that's a 1. That's a 5. So 17 points of damage for the first attack.
Nice. And you watch as he clatters dead to the ground, and then the tentacles of the Rift pull him inside.
Okay, who's the next? Maybe I'll I'll jump down and take my second swipe if it's okay at the
Guy right
next
here?
guy. Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
Do you want me to? Should I use the roll that I already did, or should I re-roll?
No, you're good.
Okay.
But you're multi-attack, so you
Yes.
just now make your second attack.
Okay. So should I I got a 16 and an 18 when I rolled previously.
The
but then-
18 will hit this guy, so you're
Okay.
good.
All right, awesome. Okay, let me do a. All right, that's a 2 on the D8 plus 3 is 5, and I'll do a divine smite.
Okay.
I'll do it at second level. That's a 5 plus 9 does get me there. It was close.
I love casting instead of spell slots. It's so much more fun.
Okay, so that's 3d8. So I was previously at 5, and now I'm going to add 3 more d8. That's a 3, and another 3, and a 7. So that's 13 plus 5 is 18 points of damage to that guy.
So as soon as you strike him and do damage, you watch as his body becomes very rubbery, and he will automatically react by enlarging.
Oh, man.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw, if you would, please.
Darn it. Okay. It's a 17?
17 will save, although you'll take half of 12 points of bludgeoning damage, because when he enlarges, his blubbery form slams into you. But because you made your strength save, it does not cause you to be knocked prone.
Okay. So I think I have 2 more AP because I did 2 attacks and then I moved. So that's presumably movement is 1, 2 attacks are 1.
Correct.
So I will, for my last AP, try to charm this giant guy.
Nice.
So I have to do a casting roll, but it's level 1.
Yep. So 11 or higher.
Okay, that's a 16 plus 9 is a 25. So he has to roll a wisdom save of 17.
That is a 2 plus 0.
Ah, love it. Okay,
Nice.
so he has the charm condition until the spell ends. And because that was an enchantment spell, I have an ability where I can now charm another person within 30 feet, I believe. Let me just double check.
Yep. That could be any of these guys in the wall of light or ensnared in the restrained condition of the vine, or potentially this bomb thrower or this bomb thrower right there.
Okay. Let me the guy who is right next to Karina, let me have him roll a wisdom save 17.
Nice. This guy right there, the bludgeoner. That's going to be a 7 plus 0. He is now charmed as well.
Okay, so I guess it actually says on a failed save, the target has charmed or frightened condition. So I'd love him to just be scared and run away.
Of you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, frightened means that if he attacks you, it's at disadvantage, and he cannot actively move towards you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'll do charmed.
Okay. So these two are now charmed by you.
Can I, as a free action, be like, "Stop, my friends! Help us, please," or something?
I mean, that's really damsel in distress of you, but
I'm a damsel and I'm in distress.
like Professor literally looks down at you and just looks super cringe. He's just like, all this work for equality, and that's what you do. I'll say it's part of the effect of the charm.
Okay.
Which will immediately cause this one to turn towards one of the bomb throwers and this one to turn towards one of the others in the wall of light.
Love it. All right. Awesome. That's my turn.
All right. Professor, you are up with the goblins on deck. Professor, give me a strength save, if you will, please.
21.
You are no longer under the effect of the rift as you're able to extract yourself from the tentacles.
All right. First thing is I want to move my moonbeam and center it over the goblin shaman, and I think so. There's an arcane.
Yeah, the wizard, shaman, and the chieftain right there. So
Right,
moonbeam is
center
over
it
there.
those guys.
3 wisdom saves. I got OMG. I'm going to Vegas.
Uh-oh.
I just rolled 3 18s.
Damn it. Okay, well, they're taking half damage, but yeah, get ready to roll these.
Yeah,
Oh,
holy crap, that was unreal. I really could have used those for attack rolls, but whatever. Whatever face, whatever dice of evil.
But they've rolled 1 nat 20 against me already, so.
Oh, let me see if I can do something. I don't think I can, but I just want to read the effects of a cantrip I have. But no, it's a concentration anyway. They still take 12 radiant damage. That is after I've halved it.
Okay.
So. All right. I will go ahead and head for the 2 bomb throwers that are on the left over there. So I'm going to try to hit one with a poison spray. So get in on that. It's a cantrip roll. So.
Go for it. Ranged spell attack.
Well, that was a 2. So first one.
That's going to miss. He literally just kind of ducks underneath. He thinks it's bird poop, but he's like, ah!
I mean, the way I have this in my head, it's a lot of seabirds, including albatrosses, if they're in danger, they can puke up an oil into their attacker's face, and that's what it is. So
that is equally as gross.
Exactly. All right, so I'll try to hit the other guy with what is it called? My Thunderous Screech, which is a con 16.
Okay. That's going to be a 3 + 2 is a 5. That's going to fail.
Okay. And I rolled an 18 to cast it, so.
All right, you're good.
All right, and it's 2d10, and he takes 10 thunder damage.
10 thunder damage. Nice.
All right. So
finish your turn?
I should still have 1 AP, shouldn't I? Or no, because I moved Moonbeam, I moved over to attack those guys, and I attacked both of those. So yeah, that's 4 total AP.
Okay. So that is... Well, that last thing that you did with your Screech, is that a spell?
Yeah, that's a spell. It's renamed Inflict Wounds.
Spell is a 2 AP, so you actually only would have 1 AP left because you moved for 1 AP, moved Moonbeam for 1 AP.
You're right.
Poison Spray was 1 AP on this guy, so you've got 1 AP left.
All right, I'll try to do a physical attack on the guy that's on the higher elevation. I'll just try to beat him up.
Yeah, go for it. You get 2 attacks. Go for it.
Right, so let me get back to my page there. So +8. First one is a 25 to hit.
That'll definitely hit with an extra D4 of damage.
All right. All right, he takes 11, 13 regular damage and 3 fire damage.
All right, so he will fail his dex check because all of the grenades on him are already pre-lit. He has to pass a dex check to avoid those exploding on his person. So he just failed. They all explode on him. I need you to make a dex save, if you would, please, Professor.
That's a +8 for me. 25.
You'll take half of 18 points of piercing damage, and there's nothing left of this guy since he exploded.
All right. Is the other guy close enough that I can use my second attack on him?
Yeah, you just lower yourself slightly and take your second attack.
All right. Let me. It's a +8 on that. Yeah, +8. So that is a 23, I believe.
That will hit with an extra D4 of damage. He did make his dex check, so he's good.
Oh no! Oh god, my dice. All right, is that plus D4 on that?
Yes, with an extra D4 of damage.
All right. That one's nowhere near as good, unfortunately. So let's see. We got 4, 6, 7, 11 regular damage and 3 fire.
All right. He's taking a bit of damage, but he's still in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that will finish your turn. The Gobos are up. Let's see. The Goblin Chief, he is going to see that 2 of his own kind are turning. Others have died. There's the rift. All right, you guys, let's get out of here. These 3 are going to turn and run. Head down the cliff trails. This guy is going to take off his bandolier of bombs. He's going to throw them into the fire pit. I need Eritrea, Forn, and Karina. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, Eritrea, Forn, and Karina to make deck saves, please.
Good grief. Dex, that's an 18.
18 will succeed.
Yeah, so I rolled a 10 and a 4.
What'd you get?
5.
5. That's going to fail for Eritrea.
Is it a +5 by any chance?
It is. It is for Karina. It is not for Eritrea. Because it's a 10-foot radius.
Yeah, you're close enough. Yeah.
It's a little better. That's an 11.
Still going to fail. Jabaltros, what'd you get?
I didn't think I was in the range of that. I didn't hear my name there, so I apologize.
Oh, yeah, you're very much in the range.
You're on top of it.
And you said it's a Dex. Is it Dex, right?
Yep. Deck save.
Okay, that 21.
21. Professor Jabaltros, take half of 30 points of piercing damage.
Ooh.
Ow. All right, so
everybody else who failed will take 30 points of piercing damage.
Oh my god.
All right, what would my concentration roll be? Because that's over. Well, no, it's 20. It's 15 points on that. So
yeah, yeah, because you saved,
cool.
So still 10 or higher on concentration.
Yeah, cool. That's good because I rolled an 11.
Foreign 10 or higher for you for entanglement. That's concentration or duration.
Let me double check. Actually, I don't remember. 1 second. So I think it's duration, but entangle. It is concentration. That's a nat 20 of all times to roll a nat 20.
Yeah,
much better
that's
roll
good.
On my next attack.
Yep. However, these guys failed, so they both get vaporized by the explosion.
Yeah.
This guy will but attack of no, it was 1 AP to throw the bandolier, 1 AP to disengage, and then he is going to use his remaining APs to run towards the chieftain. This guy is charmed, and this guy is currently charmed, leaving just one of the pig chargers and one of the others here. They get their attacks on Regina. 2 will hit for 12 points of piercing damage. I think that is everybody. These guys are actually going to be further down the trail because they're using all their AP to run away. That will finish the goblin's turn. Oh no, there's one more bomber right here. You know what? He's gonna throw his bandolier into the fire by you, Melody. I need you, Ariana, and Karina, I'm sorry. You, Ariana, and Karina to make another deck save, if you would, please.
All right.
And does he have a disadvantage because of the wall of light by any chance?
No, because he's throwing it into the flames next to Melody, so he's not throwing it at something on the other side of the light, unfortunately.
Was it a deck save?
Yeah, deck save.
I just got a nat 20 for 25.
Nice. You will take half of 30 points of piercing damage, so 15 points. Ariana saves, so she takes 15 points of piercing damage.
Is it still a +5?
Still +5.
Yep.
That's a 12.
That's going to fail as you take 30 points of piercing damage. He will then spend the rest of his AP running away. So get him down to the cliff face path. Unfortunately, this guy and this guy will both take damage. I believe. Does that give them a save opportunity if they take damage?
Well, let's see. For the metal guy,
Not if they're charmed by her. If she attacked them, they would.
Yes,
they would
you're
take
right.
it,
The new 2024 rules. You are correct.
Charm. With
Yeah,
charm,
the new
it's
charm
strong
effect is as
yeah.
long as it's not a melody that does the attack.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, it
still
says-
remain charmed.
for charm, it's until the spell ends or until you or your allies damage it, which we haven't done. And for the other guy, there's no like. He just gets to save at the end of every turn.
Oh, at the end of every turn. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a natural 14 plus 0.
All right, that's not going to pass.
All right, so he is still charmed along with the big bloat. That will finish their turn. Karina, you are up with Thorn on deck.
Nice. I'm going to use the Wall of Light to launch an attack. It's the large.
Currently, you have these guys still close to you and Adria. This one is charmed by Melody, and this one is charmed by Melody.
I'm gonna go to the one next to Melody because I feel like he's the least close to everybody.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he's charmed. He can't do anything, technically.
Okay. So yeah. So maybe it'll just kill him.
Well,
So,
that's solid warlock optimism.
well, that was 15 to hit.
15 will hit. His armor class is a 15.
Perfect. So that's gonna be 18.
18. That will take the last of his hit points away. He will collapse dead to the ground and be pulled in by the rift. Hold on. I got to roll one other thing. Those two will fail. That will fail. So this guy gets pulled into the rift. At the beginning of your turn, Karina, did I have you do a strength save?
No.
Give me a strength save to see if you take any necrotic damage from the rift.
I thought she broke it last time. At the end. Of the turn.
No, she wasn't supposed to roll yet. She was supposed to roll at the beginning of her next turn.
Gotcha.
So it's a 14, but I do have resistance to necrotic.
14 will you get the +5. Is that what the +5?
Without a +5, so that's going to be a 19.
Yeah, so you
Nice.
managed to break free of the necrotic effect of the rift. These two got pulled into it because they failed and they died to the necrotic energy. This guy also failed, but he is still standing on his feet. He is the only remaining target in sight. All the other goblins have fled down the cliff paths.
I'm going to try and make another ranged attack with a Wall of Light at him.
Okay, go for it.
That's a 24.
I'll definitely hit with an extra D4 of damage.
So without the D4, that's a 19.
Nice.
19 plus 3. So 22.
22, nice. That will cause him to collapse dead on the ground, bringing us out of initiative.
Nice. That was looking really rough the first round. I lost like 6. I was down to 13 hit points like after just the goblins going the first time.
Yeah, I was at less than half HP. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't got that bad. I think I got down to 62. But
I was in the 30s.
It was that first initial launch of all those throw bombs being thrown at you that did a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage, but they're very unreliable. They're, Gobbo mechanics is, interesting, if not deadly at best.
I was in the 30s from 94, so yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So with that, as you guys are now in the the cave entrance where you initially sought shelter, you realize that you'd stumbled off into a tribal campsite. While it was abandoned the previous night, these goblins had all moved into the site. There is some distillation equipment set up nearby. You could see crates and barrels and big overflowing sacks of stuff bedrolls everywhere. Everyone who had died had been taken in by the rift and pulled in. So at some point you watch as the rift closes, as the magical wild magic goes away. You eventually lose track of the 5 surviving goblins who continue to run off into the distance. What would you guys like to do?
I first would like to reach into my Scanlan's bag and pull out a potion that I get to once a day.
Yeah, what would you... what kind of potion would you like to pull? Or no, that's random, right?
It's random. It's random.
That's right. Did I give you the random chart for that?
No.
Okay. Roll. I believe we're rolling a D8 for that, correct?
Okay. All right. That is a 3.
A 3. That is a potion of invisibility.
Ooh. Cool.
Do we want to stay in this cave, or do we want to find a more permanent residence where we can kind of figure out our next few steps in this area?
Foreign, first off, is immediately... did that automaton-looking guy get sucked into the void?
He did, because when he whenever anyone dies within the effect of the void, they get pulled into the rift.
Okay, then I'm going to start investigating the equipment and stuff that's around then. Because I remember the automaton things that attacked the Quorum were these cyborg goblin-looking things.
They were made of Bassaris metal, I believe.
But the goblins inside of them were like attached to the thing.
Correct. They
So
were.
it was
Yeah.
one of those like foreign seeing the cyborg.
I would
guys,
say after
I'm starting to
watching,
look like, hey, are
I
these
would
the-
say after watching what it did, it was clumsy. It was similar in the sense that it was someone inside the automaton, but you get the feeling there was no sophistication there, so it was probably not tethered to it. It was not like piloting it. It was more kind of operating a slightly larger suit of armor.
What about the for lack of a better word, cyborg goblins that were attacking us too?
Yeah, the few that remain kind of lying around, you can give me either Arcana or Medicine check on them.
Okay. Neither one of those is particularly good. Medicine is slightly better though. So yeah, sure. That's a 10 for
10?
medicine. Yeah.
Hard to know for sure. The constructs are crude. The use of material is pretty crude. There's no real sophistication here. This feels like maybe these things suffered some kind of injury in the past, and that autonomous parts and pieces of equipment were used to kind of heal them.
Okay. So Forn's looking into that because he's trying to decide if we need to try and pursue the chief or if we just call it quits and hang off. Because if this thing reminds him at all of what attacked the Quorum, it's a thread to chase and on Forn's side.
Overall, it's the lack of sophistication. Your passive insight would be decent enough to know that what attacked the Chandei Quorum was very sophisticated and well built. This all feels like low-end magic and low-end kind of unsophisticated effort.
Okay. If that's the case, then I'm just going to look around for stuff to throw in the hole. So,
Karina, give me a history check with advantage, if you would, please. I keep forgetting we're in King's Fall, technically.
20.
20. You actually recall what these things are called. These creatures are called Brazens. They're a member of an organization of smugglers that use crude mechanical magic as a means to alter themselves or repair their wounded bodies. Sometimes they use it as a means to enhance contraptions. Even now, you're kind of watching as the slow and lumbering ogre is still kind of descending down the cliff face with 8 tiny little goblins kind of hanging on to him as they, kind of running off in the distance. These guys are just kind of thieves, smugglers. You just get the feeling that you guys stumbled upon their empty den at one point in the middle of the night, and they had returned at some point, but the door is not visible to them. So you guys weren't visible until they kind of funneled out. However, this tells you that some of their den tunnels are probably nearby. And from what you understand, those tunnels are secret ways in and out of the city of King's Fall.
I don't have Consume Mind right now, but I do have Speaking with Dead. I guess no bodies are left because of the rift.
No, there's two. There's two bodies
guys.
left that died before the rift came into effect. So there are 2 goblin bodies left.
And while the orc is kind of going down the cliff face, can I just like throw in a small, Eldritch Blast at it so it'll fall?
It's pretty far. What's the maximum range on your Eldritch Blast?
120 feet.
Yeah, he's beyond that. I'll say you could try with disadvantage.
I can go for a shot. I got 200 feet range.
So, Karina, you can try with disadvantage. Foreign, you can try a regular shot.
Right.
What was the range on that? I'm sorry. I wanted to...
He'd be roughly, what's your maximum range, Foreign?
200 without disadvantage. 800 maximum.
I would say he's
All right.
roughly 300 feet away, so you'd have disadvantage on the shot.
Okay.
Nope.
Wow, that was 16 twice.
That would be Gambler's Luck. That is a critical hit. So as Foreign comes up to saddle alongside you to take that shot, he watches as your Eldritch Blast actually ricochets off a boulder. Like it goes, ricochet, and then hits the ogre in the back of the head. And you just watch as he face plants forward off the cliff, dragging the 8 goblins with him.
Aw.
Nice shot.
And there's just this kind of like slapping sound
Oh.
as each goblin kind of pops like a grape on the way down.
You should do that more often. That's a really nice shot.
I was really hoping to salvage some brains out of this.
Hey, look, Foreign just complimented you, so
Korea just walks away.
Yeah,
He's like, I know it was a nice shot.
She's like,
playing it cool.
flicks
He's
her
like,
hair.
accident.
the
Not right
nicest
by
thing
accident
Foreign
at
said
all.
to you in the last 2 weeks of gameplay was nice shot, as you blasted the head off the ogre.
No, she's gonna try and play it like it wasn't an accident. Does this area feel safer now, or do we want to move out of here before something?
Your history check tells you that there's probably a tunnel entrance nearby. So either more of the Razors may arrive. You guys definitely created a pretty solid commotion. You would know that at some point it might track the attention of the. Let's see what you would know what they are called. It would eventually attack the attention of the Ember Hands, which are the kind of like protectors of King's Fall.
So maybe we should just take as much loot as possible and make our way for now. And also the 2 dead bodies, so we can maybe talk to them real quick.
So are you saying, and Karina, would you have told us that, you know that these tunnels likely lead like into the heart of King's Fall?
Yes.
So should we follow the tunnels into King's Fall? I mean, I know like our goal when we got here was to find a way to get to Jamon's Ord, and they're in Ankarel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we need to get it to a teleportation circle in King's Fall and take that to Ankarel.
We may
Yeah.
just try to approach Ankarel by land or air, just given that if Jamon's Ord if the wrong Jamon's Ord is looking for us, and we show up, any of our group show up unexpectedly at the teleportation circles, that could put us directly in danger.
I did have.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go first, please.
Well, mine was going to be like, I didn't realize we only had like 10 minutes left, so I don't even know if this is going to matter. So go for it.
Well, two additional potential goals based on recent information can also be. We know that the changelings are we know where a lot of the changelings are going to be meeting in 2 weeks, and we know that all of those organizations are not in communication. So since Karina has some experience kind of imitating people in King's Falls, I think maybe it'd be interesting to try and infiltrate people in power there and try and get them to attack the place where the changelings are meeting under the guise that one of their enemies are there. Just
We also know where Spike is right now.
Yeah. And also, I would like to find out where the polymorphing structure is and maybe destroy it as soon as possible as well. And since it's in the deserts, I don't know, there's like so much information regarding the changelings out here, there might be something to look into. I don't know. Do people have a preference between going into the tunnels, potentially kind of fighting off goblins for a while, and then figuring out kind of the backside of King's Fall, or leaving King's Fall and going kind of towards a different direction?
The professor was going to have a deep and involved conversation with Rymnus, so like I am very distracted and just kind of going along with whatever the majority wants to do. Like, I am not in a decision-making mode.
As far as Regina, I am going to have to recast Planetary Bind soon-ish. I assume at some point it's going to start happening with disadvantage.
Not necessarily. I mean, you just got to make that casting roll every time you do it.
Okay, so kind of like eventually we're going to run out of luck. My question is, would people be open to trying to banish her somewhere? Like a different plane, place where hopefully she cannot make her way back. She can figure out her own way from there.
Do we think we need her for anything, though? Is she going to be useful on our journey?
Theoretically, if we do come upon the rest of this cabal of changelings, she lends us a little more credibility, because at least they do know her.
I mean,
I know. Corinna can change to be like one of them, but having two of them show together, my intention was it gives us slightly more credibility. Look, no one wants to put a bullet in her more than I do right now, but at the same time, if we are going to try and track down this cabal, those who are responsible for the murder of the Bright Queen, so far as I can tell, it may be wiser to keep her alive.
Karina does not want to kill her. She just wants to get her kind of out of the situation. So that would be part of out how to like banish someone, because we do kind of need to start figuring out what we're doing with our enemies that isn't just straight up killing them.
I didn't kill her. I sent her to the Bright Queen to put her in jail.
No,
Bright Queen's dead now. Don't have a jail to put her in, so...
Yeah, an accusation. Just an attempt.
Ford was just explaining, like, that's why I sent her to jail, but also the jail doesn't exist anymore. I mean, as far as my use of it, so I don't really have anywhere else to put anybody but in the grave, so...
Yeah, so we do need to figure out what to do about it.
Look, if we want to continue, if we want to try to go into King's Fall for now, I do have some skills that would help us all travel much quieter, and I could do some reconnaissance ahead of everybody to help with that as well. So, because I can pass cast without a trace on everybody to give everybody +10 to stealth.
Great.
So, if we wanted to stay in the caverns to try and get our way into King's Fall, I think it would be. If we're going to go to King's Fall, going in this way might be the best, as opposed to walking through the front door.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that, Ford.
I feel like I'd rather go into King's Fall than go into the desert. I have to find someplace for Arya to stay. She can't just like wander around in the desert with us for weeks.
Do we? You still have your notebook, right, Corinna?
Yes.
Could we figure out what's going on at Rockhaven? Because we haven't heard from them for a while, especially with all this going on. That's where we left Corinna. Corinna Prime, right?
Left Rockhaven.
Oh. So we don't really have a connection to Rockhaven anymore, do we?
Not really.
Huh. I won't pry.
Karina rolled initiative.
I won't pry into where Corinna went, but perhaps King's Fall right now is our best option, a place to go. But it is a city of changelings. Not a city of them, but we do know they congregate there.
When I was there, the impression I got is that it's, at least in the ruling aspect, it's mostly changelings at this point. With Regis being kind of in charge of everything and particularly dangerous and shrewd. We can certainly try to find a place that is comfortable. I think I spent here 2 months-ish, so theoretically there should be some contacts or some kind of like zone that is maybe an apartment or something that feels safe. But it's a very dangerous area.
Anywhere that's just an abandoned building will be fine because we can use the mansion. We can go in the mansion whenever we need to actually rest, right?
Yes, we could use that once a day.
That is so much better than what we've been doing up until now.
if we get to at least the end of this tunnel, if it goes to King's Fall, one of these tunnels, if they go to King's Fall, if we can just set up at the entrance there, then we've got our way in and out. We just keep going back to this place, and we're not in the city, but we're at the city.
Agreed. If we discover an easy in and out of the city in general, that would be extremely useful for us. We should definitely explore this if everyone is comfortable doing so.
I mean, from your description, it sounds like there are multiple entrances and exits potentially from this cavernous place to King's Fall.
Yeah, a lot of slippery individuals in this area.
I can
Literally.
I can set some warnings and other snares and traps that could potentially ward off anyone from trying to come to where we are from the cavern side. And then if we block up the other side ourselves, we may be all right.
Sounds like a plan.
Because Foreign's picked up, like, I've got, with access to all the spells, I can do snare and all these other things where literally I can set traps, not alarms, but full-on traps.
Hell yeah.
To come in.
Like,
so,
Yeah, Eritrea gets up to go pee. Comes back. Pulled upside down. Hey, Foreign, get me down.
He would do the what's that movie? Where they starts trying to throw the coin up in the air and shoot it, and he's so drunk that he's like he can't. Oh man, they remade it. It was John Wayne the first time. They remade it with.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
True Grit.
Yeah, True Grit.
True
He's
Grit,
like,
yeah.
He goes to throw the cracker up in the air, and he's like stupid drunk trying to shoot at it. Foreign would try to shoot Eritrea down the same way, He's like, hold still, Treo. Quit moving. I don't want to hit you. So right, if we're ready to try and go on through this thing, I would cast Path Without a Trace on it, or try to cast Path Without a Trace on us.
Yeah, give me a spell casting roll for starters.
Yep, let me double check that it's a first level spell. I think it's
pretty sure
second level.
Yeah,
spell.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's second level.
Yep, got to get at least a 6, and that's a 14. Cool. So dirty 20.
Very good.
Yep.
With that, you guys watch as Foreign cast Pass Without a Trace. You gather up your gear and you begin trying to find where the entrance might be, and that's where we're going to finish tonight, as we are now officially inaugurated into King's Fall, and you've decided to take the Underden as a way inside. This is going to be fun. Get to know those characters. Going to be a lot of combat over the next few sessions for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
yeah,
okay.
it's a dangerous space, my friends. All right, everybody, go ahead and linger. We'll talk after the show. We'll talk about schedules. Everybody else, be safe, be kind, and don't forget, play a game. Good night, all.
Maybe.
One of
Maybe.
these days.